I am very happy to introduce Rotarian past President Vijay Narayan Keval Ramani, a chartered accountant by profession in practice for last 25 years, is a well-educated person which can be seen by his education qualification, which goes as under BCom, LLB, LLM, FCA, MBA, Finance, CMA, Australia, DIP, IFR from UK. He has also obtained certification in forensic accounting. He is practicing in the field of direct taxes, appellate and fraud investigations. Apart from the routine practice of chartered accountancy, he has also delivered lectures and presented papers at various professional and other forums, including Rotary clubs, on a wide range of topics like fraud investigation, limited liability, partnership, cyber crimes, budget, black money, income tax, to name a few. He was also been training government auditors through the Indian Audit and Account Board on topics like risk management and fraud detections. He had been invited to train the government supreme auditors from Afghanistan on fraud detections. He also authored a book published by All India Federation of Tax Practitioners, Western Zone, titled Limited Liability Partnership Simplified Through Frequently Asked Questions. He has also written various articles in various professional magazines on limited liability partnership. CA Vijay has introduced to Rotary at the tender age of 11, when his father, late Sri Narayan Radhakrishan Keval Ramani, who has been his ideal and mentor, joined as charter member of Rotary Club of Thane East. He then went on to become one of the most successful presidents in his year in 1985-86. His mother, Srimati Uma Devi Narayan Keval Ramani, is also past president of Innerville Club of Thane East. CA Vijay himself was a charter president of Rotractor Club of Bombay Mulund East in 1991, where he successfully led a new club to heights. Rotary has been built in this DNA, which can also be seen from the fact that he has undertaken his CA training under the guidance of late PDG Jagdish Khanna, who was a very dedicated Rotarian. CA Vijay joined Rotary Club of Thane Premium in January 2015 and was adjudged Best New Rotarian of the club in the very year of induction. He was also awarded the Best Rotarian Award of the club in the subsequent year 2015-16. He was the Honorable Secretary of Rotary Club of Thane Premium in the year 2016-17. And then he joined the club now known as Rotary Club of Thane Royals as Honorable Secretary cum President-elect for the year 2017-18. And he has been the president for the year 2018-19, where he has been instrumental in helping revive the club. Since joining Rotary in January 2015, he has visited over 35 clubs across the length and breadth of the country, from Jammu in the north to Kanyakumari in the south, and from Kolkata in the east to Vadodara in the west. During the pandemic period since April 2020, he has attended over 450 online meetings of over 45 clubs in over 15 countries across the globe. He has friends across the Rotary world in India, Nepal, Ghana, Nigeria, UK, Pakistan, South Africa, Kenya, Uganda, USA, Canada, Russia, Israel, Indonesia, Jamaica, Brazil, Spain, Zambia, Singapore, to name a few, which can be made out of from the fact that he has been invited to the honorary member of Rotary Club of Tema Meridian, RID 9102. Ghana, and he has also RID 9102 Ghana, and he has also been made a global coordinator for a global grant project initiated jointly by several clubs in Nigeria. He is also the founder member of the newly approved Rotary Action Group of Menstrual Hygiene and Health. He has also delivered various talks in various Indian and international clubs on topic relating to Rotary like Rotary and Peace, My TRF Journey and Rotary, Rotaractor Relationship, to name a few. CA Vijay is a multiple Paul Harris Fellow and also a Paul Harris Society member. His late father was also a Paul Harris Fellow. His wife, Dr. Gayatri, and son Saurabh, also a Rotaractor, are also Paul Harris Fellow. He was a district chair for TRF3 during 2016-17 in the newly formed District 3142. Avenue co-chair TRF2 in 2019-20, and is currently the Avenue co-chair District Thrust Area 1 for 2020-21, and has also been nominated as Avenue Chair International Services Fellowship for 2021-22 and District Treasurer for 2022-23 in RID 3142. He is heavily supported by his better half, Dr. Gayatri, who is a MD Microbiology and MPhil, and is working as an associate director in multinational company. And his son Saurabh is studying in law. His hobby are traveling, networking, socializing, and reading. He is also involved in various professional and other associations at various levels, like President of Tax Friends for 2016 to 18 and 2018-20, President of Tax Practitioner Association Thane for 2018-20, National Treasurer of All India Federation of Tax Practitioner, a national body of tax practitioner for 2021. Steering committee member of ICMA Australia India chapter, president of American Institute of Sindhology India chapter. With this brief introduction, I present to you Rotarian PPCA Vijay Narayan Keval Ramani. Over to President.
Thank you, Past President Chandrakant ji, and I'm sure we are all very excited to listen to PP Vijay ji. Just before that, I would like to share with all the participants that talk will be followed by question answer session, and that will be monitored by Rotarian Sachin Khedekar. So I request all the participants to put their questions in the chat box and request Sachin to please monitor it and take it up after the talk is over. And friends, now I request all of you to extend a formal welcome to past President Vijay ji to his talk, and we are all quite excited. Over to you, Vijay ji.
Thank you. Thank you, President Madhusudan ji. And thank you, my co-president, co-perfect president Chandrakant ji, for a detailed introduction. Friends, today we are here to, I would at the outset like to thank DGN Kailash and DGN Satish for being here, PDG Tony Sharma being here all the way from London, and all my guests from all across the world, Nigeria, Ghana, you can say London, Indonesia, and all other countries. Friends, today we are here to study credit cards, use of credit card as a working capital tool. Friends, credit cards we have been using, but I have been receiving various calls. How do we use a credit card? We are afraid to use a credit card. Many a times our money gets stuck up. Many a times they charge undue interest and all that. Let me just make it clear, friends. This would be firstly from an Indian perspective, how to use a credit card. We will not only be going into how the credit card can be used as an effective working capital tool, but we will also try to understand the pros and cons, the negatives of using a credit card, the features, and what are the safeguards, and then we'll be moving on to credit card as a working capital tool. So at the outset, let us understand what is a credit card. If you just go by a normal dictionary meaning, it is just a small plastic card issued by a bank or a society allowing the holder to either purchase goods or services on credit. This is the simple layman definition which we normally look. And if you go to Wikipedia, it defines credit card as a payment card issued to the users to enable the cardholder to pay a merchant for goods and services based on the cardholder's promise to the card issuer to pay for the amounts plus the agreed charges. That is basically somebody is authorized to pay to the merchant, the card company pays on your behalf, and you agree to repay the merchant, the card company, the charges plus the amount. This is what Wikipedia defines. And we'll just see the last definition. Credit Karma website, it says, the credit card is a tool that lets you borrow money. And today's topic is also used as a working capital. That lets you borrow money to a certain limit from a bank or other issuer with the understanding you will pay it back. Credit cards can help you build credit and cover emergency costs, but they may also lead to debt if you charge more than you can comfortably repay on time. This is the most apt definition which I have found. And as I said in the introduction also, that it has to be used properly. And if you are not using it properly, you can be in a big problem. So that is what we will try to understand also, the negatives of using a credit card and the safeguards. So we'll start with what are the features of a credit card. The first and foremost important feature is you don't need to carry cash. And moreover, a checkbook is not accepted at the merchant establishment. I need not carry so much of cash if I have to buy something. A credit card helps me there. It's easy to carry and use. It's just less than a palm, so it fits in your wallet. It's very easy to carry and use. It is internationally usable. You can use it internationally, so you need not carry foreign currency, and even the traveler's check are not required nowadays. You can just use a credit card internationally. Usage now, friends, it is very much secured through a PIN and a password. It not only goes to a PIN, but even if you use it online, you get a password online. Yes, there are restrictions on international usage. This doesn't work, password thing. But in online, if you use on India anywhere, you will get a password. You need not worry about your current balances at the bank. This, as every definition said, bank friends, that it is just a short-term loan that we are getting. I don't have the money, but I am in urgent need of something, some services or some goods. So I can just pay and then pay later for those services which I'm using. This is also rewarding. It gives you reward points right from 5% to 1%. I'm just speaking about the reward points. I'm not speaking about the cashbacks which you get over and above, which we'll be looking later. Cashbacks and perks. This is specific schemes and cards are coming on. Cards are all based on usage. So if you use over and above your reward points, many a time you get extra cashbacks and perks. So credit card is not only useful for pay later things, but it is also rewarding at most of the times if you are able to use it properly. Use now, pay later, as I said, it can be from 15 days to 50 days. We'll see how it works. What happens, friends, is 15 days is if you swipe the card on the last day of the billing, then you will get maximum of 15 days to 20 days, depending on the card company. And if you swipe the card on the first day of the billing, so you get 30 plus 15 or 20, that's 45 to 50 days. So that's why it depends on when you are swiping the card, you get a period of 15 days to 50 days. No interest. This is the biggest advantage on even a working capital that you use for your business. You end up paying some interest. Here, if you pay on time, so you use the money of the bank 15 days to 50 days and you pay not a single penny interest. The only condition is payment has to be made on time and in full. If you don't make the payment, then hell breaks loose. We'll see it later how it happens. Indian parlance, friends, as I said, in Indian parlance, normally if you have to transfer some money overseas, you would need to go through a procedure of filing Form 15CA CB. Form 15CB is a CA certificate which you need to declare that either TDS is deducted. If it is deductible, if it is not deductible, no TDS deductible. So a chartered accountant certificate is required. Without that, you will not be able to do it. So first it takes time. You obtain a CA certificate, you pay him the fees, and then you go to the banker. So it takes time till the money is remitted. Here you can internationally make the payments online immediately. This is one of the biggest advantage that you have with a credit card. Now, features when we see, we also have to learn negative. It can tend to overutilization. Many a times what happens is, because I have got a credit card, I can pay later. I tend to buy things which are not required. Many a times we tend to overutilize it. I don't need, but chalo, it will help it in the future. Let us buy it, let us see later. So it can be a problem. Again, this is a consequential this thing. It may lead to overstepping of the budget. My monthly budget is 10,000 rupees, but I may end up spending 12,000 rupees, and then I get stepped up in a loop. And then ultimately, this lack of timely payment leads to a debt crunch, because the finances that they charge are very heavy, which we will be looking later on. I'll come back to it. And it also leads to a loss in the credit ratings, because the moment you start defaulting, you lose your credit ratings, which are very important for getting loans and other things, even for getting future credit cards or this thing. You need a credit rating, so it does affect your credit ratings. Friends, we'll just have a brief look on what type of credit cards are there. Credit cards can be charge cards. They are basically issued by Diners, MX and all. They are normally chargeable. They don't come free or complimentary. Credit cards can be issued by credit card companies like international companies like Master, Visa, or India has started their own RuPay. RuPay card has been started by the Indian government. So a RuPay card also has wide acceptability across the globe. It can either be chargeable. You may have to pay one-time fee or annual fee, or you can get it for free also. Many banks or many institutions are offering free also many times. It can be a co-branded card like Manhattan, Amazon, Make My Trip. So if you make, so then if you use this card for those items, like if it is a Make My Trip co-branded and you book tickets through this card, you may get some special discounts. You may get some special cashbacks. Amazon credit card or Visa card, which it has a tie-up with ICI, so it gives you special cashbacks. Again, these cards may be chargeable or free depending on the company which it is issuing. What are charge cards? We'll just see in between in detail. A charge card is a card where normally it will not charge you interest, but the only condition is the payments in the charge card have to be made in full. They do not allow you installments, as compared to the other cards, other credit cards that you are using. So if you're not able to pay the full amount, you can pay a minimum amount that you have to pay, and rest you can pay in installments. But in a charge card, they will not allow you that. You are supposed to pay the whole amount in one go. You are not allowed installments in a charge card. That is a negative. And these are some of the examples of a charge card. I just put in this platinum or the corporate cards are the most sought after cards and very famous. Credit cards are issued by various establishments. They are affiliated to merchant associations like MasterCard, Visa, and again, as I said, RuPay is famous now. And this is the logo you will find on that. A MasterCard will have a master. It may be any bank. It may be Standard Chartered. It may be ICICI. But which it is tied up. It may be American Express, RuPay, Visa, or MasterCard. Earlier, American Express did not used to issue credit cards, but now it does issue credit cards also, apart from the normal charge cards they are issued. And a brief about the co-branded credit cards issued by various establishments, as I told you that, but jointly with merchant establishments like Amazon. So like we can see a Make My Trip, ICICI Bank, Visa card. So it is a joint product co-branded card between ICICI Bank and Make My Trip, but it is issued by the Visa company, merchant establishment. And if you use this card on Make My Trip, maybe you may get some extra discounts. They will give you some extra cashback and all that. Similarly, you have a card of Indian Oil. If you use this, you get cashbacks. This is only at Indian Oil outlets. If you have a co-branded card, only for those outlets you get certain benefits. Air India for ticket booking, this IRCTC card for railway bookings and all, which have, they will, if you use this card, they will not charge you the surcharge that you are paying on an online railway booking. Otherwise, you are normally charged the surcharge. At the points that you accumulate, these points you can use for getting tickets complimentary for railways in the future. So what is The card can be used for any of the following: purchase of goods and services. You need anything, it can be official business purpose. Or I need a mobile, I don't have money, I just go. This is Note 10, it's costing me 1,100,000 rupees. I just go to the shop, buy a mobile and get it. Payment of membership fees. Many a times nowadays membership fees are charged online, especially as I told you, international membership fees. Like supposing I have to pay the CISA fees or maybe the CPA fees to American Institute of CPA online, or maybe the Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales. I can pay online without issuing or getting into the formalities of those 15 CA, CP, CA certificate and all. I can pay the fees directly through the credit card. Payment of utility bills. Nowadays, practically all utility bills are going through cards. But again, there is a catch here that some utility companies, the merchant establishments or the banks which are allowing you utility bills, they may not charge you the surcharge. Otherwise, some may charge you service charge on that. So you please check before paying of payment of utility bills. Some may not charge you, then some may charge you service charges also. You can also do cash withdrawals as you do from the bank, subject to a cash withdrawal limit. But yes, there are heavy finance charges and interest. So this is not advisable. But in case of an emergency, you are traveling and you need cash. So you can just go to the nearest ATM and do a cash withdrawal through your credit card also. You can make it payment through pay wallets also. You can make it to Paytm, Amazon Pay, Google Pay, etc. And from there you can make your utility payments. So which give you a dual reward. Once you pay to Paytm, you get a reward point at the credit card level, and once from Paytm, if you pay the utility bills, maybe some extra reward points or cashback you may get. So you get a double benefit. There are also certain restrictions on the use of credit cards. A credit card cannot be used for the following. It cannot be used for salary payments. So you cannot do salary payments through a credit card. You can do it through Paytm. You can do it through Google Pay. So indirectly you can do, but directly you cannot make a salary payment. You can transfer it to your Paytm wallet, and then from there you can do a salary payment or a Google wallet, and you can transfer, but you cannot do it directly. You cannot do payment to non-merchant establishments which are not listed with these credit card agencies. But again, as I said, nowadays you can just route it through the wallet, and then you will be able to do it, but not directly. Business purchases per se, friends, by RBI, they are not allowed except for corporate cards. But normally, day-to-day things you can, like supposing I am buying a mobile. It can be used for personal as business use. So I can buy a mobile, there is no harm. I can buy a laptop, I can buy a washing machine, or I can buy any office equipment. That's not a problem. But per se, if you just go to buy goods and all, then it may be a problem. Or many a times, supposing I am buying a ticket as a travel agent. As an individual consumer, I can buy a ticket through a card, but the moment a travel agent starts swiping it, then there may be an objection coming from the banker that you cannot do it because it is your main business and you cannot just pay for your customers and enjoy the benefits of the rewards. You can pay for your personal purchases. Corporate cards they may allow, but in a normal personal credit card they may not allow. There can be a problem. Friends, now we come to the important part for which we are here, that is understanding the credit cycle. The credit cycle consists of two parts in a credit card. One is the billing cycle, which is monthly. As I said, you get a 30-day billing cycle. So supposing I have my billing starts on the 1st. So from the 1st till the 31st is my billing cycle. And then there's a grace period of payment, 15 to 21 days, depending on the cards. Some cards allow you 15 days, some cards allow you 21. So as I said in the earlier also, if you buy something on the first day, and that is the date of the bill, supposing today is the 17th, then one of my cards actually, the billing date is 17th. So the bill would have been generated. So whatever I swipe today, it will be billed to me on 17th of April, and my payment would go only on the 6th of May. It will give me further 20 days. So today, if I buy anything, I will get a full 50 days advantage over there. But yes, if I buy later, then that period will reduce accordingly. Friends, this is what you have to understand. In case of delays, the following are levied. This is what I said. Interest on credit card is highly problematic because they charge you minimum 2.25 to 3.5% on a daily compounding basis. So it technically goes up to 4.5 to 5% interest if you end up paying. So it's better if you don't have the money and you're not able to pay, don't pay the installments here. You pay the full amount. Please take a loan from a banker, which will come to you at a rate of around 13% per annum, reducing balance. You better take a loan from there and pay it. It will be much cheaper. But don't pay installments here. Otherwise, there are high chances that you come in a debt trap in the. Then over and above the interest, they also charge you a finance charge, which vary from 300 rupees to 1500 rupees. So it's not only you are paying the interest, but they will also charge you finance charges and GST over and above that at Indian rates of 18% on any of thing. You pay interest, you have to pay GST, and the finance charges you have to pay GST. So friends, you can understand a small delay or a small, you can say partial payment also, they will charge you finance charges, they will charge you interest, they will charge you GST. So you can try to imagine what would be the cost you will be ending up paying. First thing is, please spend according to your budget. If you are not, and if you are overshot, please take a loan from external, which will be much cheaper, and repay this. Please don't keep installments on a credit card. Payments can be done either through online banking channels or a cash or check, or even nowadays many cards are allowing you to pay through the reward points or cashback amount which is available. And many a times you can pay through the wallets also. Nowadays wallets are also allowing you to make credit card payments. But normally the wallets have taken a check that you cannot make credit card payment of one card by using the other card, because then you will go rolling over the cycle, which is not allowed. They will force you to make the payment through the wallet only through using your UPI or the bank account. You cannot roll over that. Otherwise, it's an easy thing that you roll over, you pay from one card and use it in the other card. Payment can also be made during the billing cycle to open limit. Supposing you got a limit of 1 million rupees and you already used 900,000 rupees for some items, and you want to use it further. So what you can do, you can partially pay say 700,000, and your billing limit automatically will open up for that 700. So you will again have a 800,000 limit, and you can spend up to 800,000 if you want to buy anything. Credit card payment, friends, has to be made whether in full or in partial, but you have to make a payment. Without that, it will be a problem. It should be before the due date. In case of a charge card, it has to be 100% of the bill account. As I told you earlier also, you cannot make partial payments in a charge card. In other cases, minimum 5% and maximum 100% you can pay. But minimum, normally they allow you to pay 5%, and on the rest, they will start charging you interest. Moreover, friends, the interest that they charge you, it is not from the day you default. It is from the day of the first transaction. Please remember. So you start paying interest very high. That is, supposing you have, today, as I told you, my billing cycle changes on 17th of March. I have spent something now, and if I default in the next month for this bill, my interest will start from 17th of March and not from the date of default, that is 6th of April, the date of due date of my payment. So please take care. This is how your interest is charged. So it becomes a very problematic thing. Now we come to our main topic. How it can be effective working capital usage. As I told you, friends, no prior approvals are required. If you need a working capital limit from a banker, you have to submit documents, you have to obtain prior approvals. Money can be used interest-free for a period between 15 to 50 days, as against the interest that you pay for working capital that ranges from 12% to 16%, depending on what you are getting and what benefits you are able to get and how you are able to tie up a bargain with your banker. You don't have to submit any stock and other statements. Many a times for obtaining working capital, it is against the mortgage of something or the other. Many a times you have to obtain stock statements, submit stock statement, submit receivable statement, and various other documents. So here you don't have to submit periodical documents. So you are out of that. You are out of the stock audits and all that are done by the bankers to verify your credit limits. Your spending limit increase automatically depend on usage of your cards. Now, usage doesn't mean only the usage. You also have to show that you are paying in time. You keep paying in time, your rolling is very good. Automatically, they keep increasing your spending limit. So again and again, you don't have to rush to the banker that please increase my limit every year, like we do in normal business. That we please increase my limit. I need to use. I need more money. If you are able to plan it properly, automatically they increase the spending limit also. Ideally, one should have 3 to 6 cards with billing cycles spread out. If you want to use it effectively, personally, I have 16 credit cards with my due date turning every 3 days. So I use the maximum 45 to 50 days for every card. So supposing 17th I am ending, my other card will be ending on the 20th. So for 3 days I will use this card, and the next card I will, for the next 3 days I will be using the other card. Again for the next 3 days I will be using the other card, and so on and so forth. It gives me maximum period of utilization of working capital. But with one card you have a limitation that you may end up in the last 15 days. Yes, I may also pay more depending on the rewards. Sometimes some cards give you rewards, so you tend to pay more because this working capital interest saving is much less than what rewards you are given. I will give you one example. 2 years back in Diwali, they had brought a scheme that if you spend 2 lakh rupees on a particular card, a gift was being given to everybody. So I bought a car and I paid my advance through that for the car, and I ensured that I spent that 2 lakh rupees over there and I got that gift over there, over and above my reward points and the benefits. And moreover, I could get a cycle of 20-25 days also. Instead of going and issuing a check or a DD to the car company, car showroom, I could take that benefit. That also can be taken. Reward points is another advantage, depending on the user policy. First thing is you have to pay the credit card bill on time, then they give you the reward points on based on the usage. It can be used for payment of credit card bill. It can be used for encashment for shopping and gift vouchers. You can take it. It can be used for payment at certain online sites, Make My Trip, Yatra. So you can use reward points for direct payment. Every reward point may turn out from 20 paisa to 1 rupee. So depending on the card company that is issuing and the card facilities that you are getting, you end up paying accordingly. And finally, we come to the tips for using credit cards. The list of credit cards should be noted, limits should be noted, PIN, billing date, and due date. This is very important, friends, to do our own work. As I said, I use 15 to 16 cards, but I have all in my mind. I know the pins, I know the billing dates, I know the due dates, when to pay. The moment I get the bill, I schedule it in my bank statement, and the NEFT goes exactly on the due date. So I don't waste out on the due date. I need not remember that today I have to make a payment. I just schedule the payment in my bank account. Keep track of the credit card bills, what you are spending. So last moment you don't know that unnecessary things have been charged. It is very less, but sometimes it happens. Ensure payments are made before the billing date. The payment should be made at least 1 day before the due date or on the due date with this NEFT. If you are paying by check, please pay 3 days before, because now they want a credit before the due date, because if the credit goes 1 day later, they may charge you finance charges. So please be aware about that. Don't overspend. Never share your PIN or CVV with anybody. Many a times you receive a call, bogus calls are coming. Sir, we are upgrading your card. We need your PIN, CVV. Please ensure nobody will call you for that. If at all the card upgrades are given, nobody will ask your PIN or CVV for that. Always swipe the card in your presence. Many a times what happens is we go to a restaurant and somebody comes in, sir, when we give him the card, he says, sir, my swipe machine, it doesn't have a Wi-Fi. So either you give me the PIN, I will go and swipe it. Please take care. Spend 2 minutes extra, get up from your chair and go to the counter and swipe it. Don't give the PIN to him. There are high chances of a misuse. Do not default on a credit card. Earlier also I told you, it not only can lead you to a debt trap, but also can hamper your credit score. And one more caution, too many cards also can spoil your credit score. So have a limit on cards. Don't go कि भाई मेरे को free मिल रहा है, I am getting, so I take 50 cards. Go on that. Too many cards also can spoil your credit score. And as soon as you get the statement, verify all monthly statements or error. please call them up and they rectify. Normally it is seen that they rectify immediately. Take the maximum benefit of perks and rewards offered. This is what I have been doing. There are certain cards they give me, they have come to me for free and they give me 500 rupees, up to 500 rupees cashback every month on certain usages, which I do. So I am not only not paying, but I am getting 6,000 rupees per annum from the card companies as a cashback. And lastly, I would just like to give you a caution. If you don't take good care of your credit, then your credit won't take good care of you. It's by Tyler Gregory. Thank you, friends. This is all from me, and I'm open for questions now, please. Sachin ji, you can take over.
Yeah,
Friends, good evening.
yeah.
If you have any questions, can you just put it in the chat box so I can read it out. Or you can directly ask the question also.
I think I have one question.
Yes.
There are certain cards which give free service until you do a certain limit of transactions. If you are not doing, they will charge you annual charges. So how to tackle that? Like, is there any such cards where they will say that you will not spend, then also will not charge you, or they will charge some yearly charges on that card if you are not like you are not doing 30,000 as a transaction for 1 year, they will charge you 500 or 1,000 rupees as an annual charge on that card. So how to manage that also?
There are different types of cards. There are various companies which give you totally free irrespective of your usage. So you better go for those cards and rather than going for these cards until you find some specific benefits with these cards. Otherwise, please avoid such type of cards. You force you to go for a minimum this thing. There are many companies which are giving you, many banks giving you totally free cards irrespective of the usage. So you can
Okay,
go for those.
and addition to that question, that most of the time they mention that there are no charges, but some charges are always there which are hidden, and it becomes quite difficult to tackle. So while choosing the card is also one of the challenge which we face.
Sir, normally there are no hidden charges in a credit card. In my 22 years of usage of credit cards, I have not seen hidden charges.
Okay.
As I told you, I am using at least 16 credit cards. I have not seen a hidden charge.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, Rex.
So why can't credit cards be used for salaries and the payment of other group payments?
Rex, normally for using a credit card, the other person needs to have a swiping account. So whether your employees will be willing to take swipe machine and pay the charges for that. You cannot make a credit card payment directly. You need to have a swipe account, or you, as I said, you can make it to a payment wallet, and from a wallet you can just transfer it there. Like you pay to Google Pay, and from Google Pay you can just transfer it.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions, my friends? Any questions?
Hello. हेलो
Yes.
हाँ विजय, वो बोल रहा था कि ज्यादा कार्ड होएगा तो भी क्रेडिट स्कोर
Public meeting, huh? I was evening, huh?
Yeah, चंद्रकांत जी.
हाँ वो तो बोल रहा था कि तेरे पास 16 है लेकिन ज्यादा रहेगा तो भी क्रेडिट स्कोर हैम्पर होता है, तो फिर वो कैसा क्या हैंडल करता है?
See, as I again repeat, more cards can hamper your credit score, but then
Public meeting, other meeting, other. Huh? Okay.
more cards can hamper your credit score, but then you should know the ideal limit for using the credit card. 16 is not that much. As I said, you need not go to मेरे को 50 free, I am getting 50 free, let me take all 50. Just go for a selected this thing.
Okay.
And as I said, it depends on the usage. Now 16 will mean many a times the bank is common. I get different cards from a single bank for
Okay,
different
okay.
benefits.
Benefit.
That cannot
Okay.
happen.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Okay, so how can you borrow with your credit card? One. Secondly, in Nigeria, most times when you are attacked by robbers and they now go away with your credit card, they can use it to get money. They can use it to withdraw all your money, and yet bank cannot help you to trace who the people that took the money. Bank cannot help you in any way. So why is it always like that?
So see, in India, the cyber cell is very strong. We have good IT law. So earlier it used to happen, but with the Indian police and the Indian cyber laws very strict. Nowadays, these cases are not there in India. Payments could be traced through the IP. So if your cyber cell is strong, they can definitely trace the payment through the IP account, because normally most of it is done through online transactions. Or even if it is done through ATM, they can easily make out. We got cameras put in and we know who's using the card. CCTV cameras are there. Through this, tracking becomes easier. So it's not that difficult. From which ATM it is withdrawn, the money is withdrawn from the CCTV. They can make out and photographs and also. Nowadays it's not difficult to catch hold of those culprits. Earlier it used to happen a few years back. In India nowadays, it's very difficult on that side.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Any more questions, my friends?
I have another little question. Is it possible to have the compendium of the slides into our various social media, like email or WhatsApp? Can we have the compendium of the slide?
I will share the presentation with you.
Thank you, Vijay.
Do you understand my question?
I will share the presentation with you, my friend.
Mr.
I
Vijay
said,
said
is it
he will
possible for
mail
us,
this presentation.
the participants, to have the slides of the presentation?
That's what I said. I will share the presentations. That is what I'm saying, my friend. I will share the presentation so everybody can see it. I will share it on WhatsApp with everybody.
Okay. I think after the program, we also drive it to YouTube, Vijay.
Yeah, it is there on YouTube also. Everybody can look at this presentation on YouTube. And I will also share the slides with everybody.
I appreciate that.
Any more questions? Do we conclude?